Okay, everyone, welcome to another Grab Your Keys. Today we have Meghan Golden, who is with Mortgage Women Leadership Council. And I love everything about Mortgage Women Leadership Council. I like even every word in that phrase, in that title right there, because I am a big proponent of women in the mortgage industry and outside the mortgage industry. I've served on many leadership boards, and I'm super excited that I'm serving on your leadership board this year. So I thought having you on would be great. So, Meghan, welcome to Grab Your Keys.
Thank you so much, Sue, for having me. And having you as a part of the advisory board is such a pleasure. And we have so many big things upcoming for the council this year. And, having you a part of it is going to be great. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I think that it's really important. Even I was just in Scottsdale and I saw another
Mhm.
person on the board. So it's even allowing us to make lots of different connections. And while I was
Mhm.
in Scottsdale at the Mortgage Collaborative Conference, I was able to meet with like a group of 100 women. And like it was so great. We all got into groups and we all said like different stories. And I got to tell like an embarrassing story of ours. But even while I was saying like the embarrassing story, as there were so many different segments of that story, it really resonated with the ladies at that event. And having women connect with other women is so important in the mortgage
Mhm.
industry, because the mortgage industry usually has so many women on the back end who are in operations, but there's so many great women on the front end and on leadership that really don't show their faces as much or don't want to show their faces for whatever reason. And I think what you guys are doing of, being there, being a great place is fantastic. How did you get into doing what you're doing?
Um, so I actually got into the mortgage industry via my best friend. She is a CMO over at RCN Capital. Her name's
Mhm.
Erica Lacentra. Um, and we needed to move to Connecticut. My husband had gotten a new job opportunity, and I had been working in marketing for car dealerships. And with the transition and the move, Erica had a great connect at my current company, and said, I really like this industry, and this is a person that I would highly recommend, for you to kind of get your entry into the mortgage industry. Um, Let me make a connect. I know they are expanding. They've taken on some industry publications, and I know they want to grow. And I think you would be a good person, and you would really kind of mesh with the team there. So she made the connect, and I went for my meetings, and I immediately felt at home there and hit it off with the leadership team there, and actually ended up meeting Melissa Pianin, who is the executive
Yeah.
director of the Mortgage Women Leadership Council. Um, and her and I kind of, we became fast friends, and it's kind of been history from there, and I've been there for about 4 years. And it was, the best move I've ever made. And I'm very thankful that, she made that connect and I got involved.
So it's so important for connections to know what your network is,
Mhm.
to know how just putting it out in the universe and putting it out there that you're looking for something else, that does make a big difference in where you might find your next position or next opportunity. Don't you think?
Oh, of course. And yeah, I'm so lucky that, my husband's always like, how do you keep up with, talking to your friends every day? And we have this chat, we call it the squad chat, and we
Mhm.
talk every day. And I've always had that tight knit group, and I have these really close friends that are always looking out for me, and we talk about things that are happening within our careers, and it's a tight group of women, and I think with the council and everything we do, and approaching a work environment, and like my relationship with Melissa is, I know the value of having strong women in your corner. um And that's just been something that I've been able to kind of transfer into my personal life, into my work life, and then with the council, and really having that network and connecting people now across the country. You
Right.
know, like you said, you show up at an event, and I was at the New England Mortgage Expo, and a couple of the advisory board members came flying up to me, and I had never met them in person, and I got a big hug, and it was just like we had been old friends forever. And what a wonderful thing that that community can do for you, and to have that sense when you go meet somebody in person that you've
It
known them
really is,
forever.
because I was at the independent mortgage bankers the 2 weeks prior, and I met somebody else from the council,
Mhm.
and it's just nice to have that, those different connections, and you never know when you're going to be able to help each other with that connection also. What's something that has
Mhm.
happened to you over your life? Like, what's a challenge that you faced that really shaped who you are today? Do you think it was that move, or do you think
Well,
no?
so I was a homebody, for most of my life, and one of the big reasons was that I had always had this dream of buying my own home, and I wanted to do that as a solo female.
Right,
So the goal for me, was to purchase my first home before I turned 30. Um, so I had that in my head, before I chose my college and decided I was going to stay home, and I went locally, and I saved and I saved, and I made my purchase. I think it was right before 2019. It was a little bit before kind of the world shut down.
right.
Um, and so that time period of buying my first home, and kind of leaving the protection and the comfort of my family house, and doing, that big life change.
Right.
And then shortly after that, about 3 months later, I got into a pretty bad car accident.
Oh,
Um, and then a few months after that, the pandemic hit. So I, I had this series of major life events, where the decisions that I made ultimately, were my own. So the decision to save money and to, buy that house, and the house that I chose, my husband and I had just started dating, and we were, moving in together, and then the accident happened, and he was taking care of me, and then the global pandemic hit, and now, it was the two of us and the dog, and now we're in the home that I bought, and we're separated from my family. And I was really faced with, like, all these decisions that I had made, and did I make the right calls and all these things, and luckily I did. I have a very supportive partner, and we had a wonderful home, and we made it through and everything. But that definitely shaped me as a person, that all happening at the same time.
yeah, and that's so great that you had that place, that safe haven that you had bought for yourself to share with
Mhm.
someone, and to recuperate and have that, and gain equity instead of renting and paying a landlord's
Mhm.
mortgage. And I'm sure that that was able to, get you to your next step. And
Mhm.
that's great that you decided before 30. I also bought my house before 30. And it's great when, and that we have a campaign right now that we're trying to get a certain number of women homeowners into homes
Mhm.
by 2030. So I think that we're over 150 that we mortgages that we've done for women. And we're trying to get that to 500 by 20, or to 300. I'm not sure which the number is, by 2030. So I love that you did that. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's a great story.
Thank you. And I
So,
know I'm, fortunate for the timing, because it's a lot harder now to purchase a home. So I
well,
kind
it was
of
hard
scooted
then.
in.
Everything's relative. Like,
Yeah.
everything's relative of where everything is. So that's something that you should definitely be proud of, no matter when it is. So, what are three keys to your success?
I would definitely say one is probably my community. Um,
Right.
my family, my friends, my coworkers. I have a really great support system in all those aspects of my life, and I have people that I can turn to. And I'm very, very thankful that I'm in very good places in all those situations. So definitely one would be community. Um, I think two would be my creativity, my ability to adapt, um, with having a so I have my degree in visual communications, with a concentration in graphic design, and, that my parents were always very supportive of a degree in the arts, but that can be a scary future, um, and learning how to adapt that creative profession to a career that I could see, being a lifelong thing, um, was kind of something I had to figure out. But what I learned with my design background and what I've seen with other people that have entered the industry that have a creative background is that those things that we learn in art school or we learn from theater or we learn from singing or whatever it is are really applicable because it's the ability to adapt. Um, it's the discipline. Uh, I know from Jennifer McGinnis, who was on our Breaking Barrier series for
Right.
Mortgage Women. She was a classically trained opera singer. Um, so if
Wow.
you see her present, her stage presence is quite a sight to behold. And realizing that about her, I realized that, her background in opera wasn't for naught. That really helped her and it gave her the confidence and the structure to get where she is. Similarly, my sister has a theater degree and she's actually in the mortgage industry herself. And she was hosting a webinar and just her entertainment value on a dry subject and how she
Right.
commanded, and that's creativity and that's the background and the degree in something creative. Um, so yeah, I think that's a huge key to my success is the ability to be creative and the ability to adapt.
For
Um,
sure. For sure.
yeah, and I think third, probably uh, empathy and compassion. I feel like I'm pretty good um, at connecting with people and understanding how people are feeling. And I think when you can tune into people, that is a key to success. Um,
That is
people and
definitely
how oh, for sure. And I think in this industry too, I think having a personal connection, especially with, the AI and everything else and being able to have that personal connection with people, especially we see it with like the Mortgage Women Leadership Council, what benefit it is to be connected. And like we're doing the next round of our mentorship program and having that connectivity and really tuning into people and what they want for their career aspirations, but what they truly value and what they care
right.
about is important.
Yeah, absolutely. I love all three: community,
Mhm.
creativity, and really care and empathy. So we
Mhm.
have three C's.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
but
great.
yeah. So, and I'm just going to go back to the creativity and
Mhm.
the ability to adapt. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. The creativity, especially in the world of AI and all the social media platforms. I have my degree in speech communications, and people are always like, "Why
Mhm.
did you get into speech communications?" I thought I'd be in like journalism or broadcasting or something, and I ended up being in mortgage. But being in mortgage, and having a speech communications degree allows me to, get my point across, allows me to
Mhm.
talk to people, allows me to be on a stage because I did that, always do that, and
Mhm.
really allows me to take, and to speak clearly and all that other good stuff that really helps with with being creative and having that arts part of it, and having that art. And I've always felt like a little bit of, and that's why I love marketing so much, because I was in retail during in my college years, and I love putting it all together, and I love
Mhm.
being a visual person and all of that. I do think that helps in seeing the big picture of everything, and I think that that also allows you to have empathy, and to your, and as I said, community, your sphere and your circle of influence have so much, they really carry you um,
Mhm.
the way. So I definitely believe in all of that. And I think they're the keys to anyone's success. And that's why we ask that question, like, what are your keys to success? To really
Mhm.
illustrate to everybody that everyone has the keys to success. It's just how you use them
Mhm.
and how you tell people about them. Um, in the world becoming more automated to AI, we just talked a little bit about the creativity of AI and everything, and being creative with regards to what do you think matters most with, having your finger on the pulse of AI, but like also not losing the human touch.
Mhm. It's actually funny. I had a call with Jacqueline Kreider and Bree Lees, who are
Right.
co-hosting the marketing working group yesterday, and we were they have the pulse on AI and automation, and wow, like they are just when I was just floored. They were going to help me with my AI automation, and I was talking to them, and what we kind of one of the goals with that series, and especially the first episode was, AI, it has a negative connotation, and it makes you feel like you're going to take the human element away from it, and you're gonna take the creativity away from it. But what it can particularly do for women, who stretch themselves so much past their bandwidth, is it can create a almost a clone. It can You can feed it your language, you can feed it your processes, you can take some of the tasks that are the mundane tasks that you don't wanna do, that you don't enjoy doing, so that you have more time for those things that you wanna pour your creativity, you wanna pour your personal, connections into, so you have more time for that. So you have more time for that thoroughness and that personal connection. So AI is a tool to reduce the redundancies, and to make you more efficient, and to be honest, it seemed like from kind of that conversation with them that it could really be a solution for people with work-life balance issues
Right.
because if you and that what better personal connection is that where you can say, "Hey, these AI automations can give me more time so that, I can get my job done, but I can also spend time with my family and my friends and do the things that are important to me." And I think that's how we need to start looking at AI. It's not the big
Like a
bad,
tool.
and it's
Use it
like
as
a
a tool.
tool.
A
It's a tool,
simplifying
and
tool.
yeah, and it's not a cheat code, it's not anything like that, and we should be knowledgeable about it and how to utilize it so that, it's a fact of life, and it can be a useful tool for us, and, we're trying to with that series, they know about AI, they have been
Right.
using it, and we wanna educate people that are just getting introduced to it for the first time.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And with that, like, do you have a daily discipline every day so you can get everything done that's on your agenda every day? What is your daily discipline or non-negotiable that drives your results?
Oh my gosh. We are right now we are restructuring. So we're developing a more robust marketing team. So um we kind of had our marketing in different departments. Now we have one big department. So we're kind of refiguring out our processes. But now, Asana, and having everything tracked in there and having accessibility to that, fortunately or unfortunately on my cell phone. Um, Having my brain in a sauna, has
Mhm.
really been something that's,
What's
um
Asana? Is that your
yeah,
tool?
so
Yeah.
it's like our content, management platform, and we have, gotten a company-wide participation on it, which has been amazing, and having that, and being able to utilize that effectively, has been huge. We're also doing, we also have integrated a new, management and meeting style, which has been great because we've, put the right people in the right seats. We've restructured
Mhm.
everything, and there's a lot of clarity, over who does what, how to have things come down from leadership, what, company values we have, company initiatives. So everything is just, communication and everything is increased. So it's
Yeah,
been
that is
great.
super great. That is super
Yeah.
great. How with working with all the different places and things that you do, how do you see this industry evolving, and where do you hope to be with it?
Um, well, I hope to see more women in leadership roles. I think there was like a statistic, it's like 30%, in C-suite positions right now. It's progressively growing, but I think more people, more females in positions of power. I think we're going to see an uptick in that. I hope we see an uptick in that. I hope I
Mhm.
can be a part of that uptick.
Right.
Um, and I think that, it's essential for the industry. I think it's good for the industry. I think people feel comfortable working with women. I think it's overall beneficial to the industry as a whole that we elevate these people that are knowledgeable and they deserve to be there, and give them opportunities. And they might not be in the right places right now to get those opportunities, but we should, find them and get them the resources they need to
Absolutely.
really show what they're made of.
Yeah, I remember I think in 2010 I was one of 5 CEOs of mortgage women who owned independent mortgage bankers. And I was like, how is it 5? Like, how is that possible in 2010, uh,
Yeah.
to be one of 5? Uh, and then and I think it even dwindled from there. But I'm sure there's more of them now. I need that's a good statistic that I should go look at. So if anyone knows how many women CEOs there are that own independent mortgage brokers, bankers, independent mortgage bankers, let us know. We're interested.
Yeah,
Leave
that
it
would
in
be
the
great.
comments below. So, what piece of advice do you use all the time?
So I get this from my mother, but she was always big, with quoting Eleanor Roosevelt. That
Oh,
was
I
always
love
the
that.
yeah. We started with the no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. But the other one that I kind of live by is, do one thing every day that scares you.
Yeah,
Um, and, I think for the majority of my 20s and before that, I was, um, you know, kind of living behind the scenes thinking that was where I felt comfortable.
right,
But it was a lot of opportunities I think I turned down out of fear. And I think that you grow a lot when you do something incrementally that's scary.
right.
Um, and I think challenging yourself and sometimes saying yes to those things that might make you a little uneasy,
Yeah,
uh, taking that opportunity, I would say, give it a shot. Um, and you might surprise yourself where it will get you. I've
I
taken
coined the
yeah.
phrase, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
and that's exactly what Eleanor Roosevelt was saying too. You have to,
Mhm.
do something that's a little scary every single day. And yeah, that is a fantastic phrase. If people wanted to get in touch with you, Megan, to know more about your leadership and more about, how the council works or how to
Yeah.
get in touch with you, how would they do that?
They can email me at Megan, Meghan, the H is important,
Yep, that is
at
important.
Yep. At mortgagewomen.com. If you want to reach Melissa and myself, you can just email hello@mortgagewomen.com. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Meghan Hogan Golden. I'd love to connect with whoever would like to connect with me and, yeah, reach out. And I'd love to chat about the council. I could talk about it all day. So
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The Mortgage Women Leadership Council, if you haven't looked it up, look it up. Look up Megan. I think that everything that you all are doing is fantastic, and I'm super excited to be part of it. So connect below. And Megan, thank you so much for being on Grab Your Keys today.
thank you so much, Sue. This was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was definitely a pleasure. And if you all enjoyed this, make sure to like and comment. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Grab Your Keys.